women want a dangerous man. Can you just explain that, Richard?
Well, women don't like weak men, do they? They routinely divorce and leave these guys that are incompetent or soft. They want a strong man. They want to be with a giant. They want a man that's competent, resourceful, strong. But they also have to be in a position to be soft and fathering and compromising, and a lot of these other things. There's a very long list of what women expect out of men today. But having the capacity of violence and being strong is certainly right up near the top.
You're a dangerous man, Richie. Are you?
Well, I used to be. Yeah, so I used to be a professional fighter myself. I own a Muay Thai gym, kickboxing gym. I train combat athletes. And while people who have purpose, drive, dedication, who might look a certain way are attracted to some women, I don't think we can generalize and say that all women want to be attracted to men who have the capacity to violence. That just isn't true. That's it's a very simplistic, binary, biologically essentialist way to look at human relationships. And I think we do ourselves all the disservice to think that boys have to live up to a very rigid, limited, narrow idea of what it means to be a man. If you don't fit into that box, if you're outside of this stereotype of masculinity that's premised on violence and physicality, then there can be some psychological distress that goes with that. So how do you expand the box of what healthy masculinity looks at? I think that's important to consider.
Richard, do you see yourself as part of the manosphere, this so-called manosphere?
No, it's a ridiculous collection of men that have spent far too much time trying to master the arts of pickup artistry and racking up notch counts with women. I've spoken to quite a few of the characters in that space and probably amplified many of them, if I'm being honest, 2017 to 2020. I spoke at one of their conferences a couple of times. I know who they are and what they're all about, but I don't find them to be good men or good at being men.
Millions of boys and men are finding a home on their platforms, hearing things that they want to hear.
Yeah, and they do offer some solutions to problems that a lot of men are suffering with. So I can understand the attraction, but there's different categories of these guys in that space. There's guys that are considered incels. There's guys that are considered MGTOW, which is an acronym for men going their own way. They've more or less been sent their own way. It's not a choice that they've made. It's just that women have rejected them, and they stand up proudly, and they often call themselves like a MGTOW. But these are all men at the end of the day that want to have a good exchange, a good relationship with women. They're just incapable of doing so. And they often struggle with it. There's
is that
not
like
many...
Andrew Tate, Richard?
Well, Andrew Tate's an interesting character. I know him personally. I've had him on my podcast several times, and we've spoken many a time. But he's a character. He plays an avatar.
Is he dangerous?
I wouldn't say so, no.
Because most people would say that he exemplifies the manosphere and the harm of the manosphere.
Rape charges, sex trafficking.
They're all allegations, the same thing they've done with Kavanaugh and many of the other people that they've falsely alleged these Me Too charges on.
A lot of your views sound similar to the people in the manosphere.
So hypergamy, for example, the red pill. Well, how come these aren't signs of you being in the manosphere?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
I think what they're saying is, how do you differentiate yourself from the manosphere?
I'm not exactly sure what you're speaking of. Can you give me a concrete example?
You talk about how to set a boundary with a woman, or how to date multiple women at the same time, and then there's the opportunity for you to set some rules. For example,
so what's wrong with setting boundaries when you're dating?
Yeah. There's a piece that you put out about how to tell a woman not to post certain photos of herself on Instagram, or how not to go on a girls' weekend.
Okay.
That's a boundary.
So which one of those do you want to deal with?
Pardon me?
So which one of those do you want to deal with?
Well, I'm asking, how do you differentiate yourself from the manosphere?
How do I
what is different between your content and what a lot of the content that we're discussing?
I don't collaborate. Hear me out. I don't collaborate with these people you're going to get fleas if you lay with dogs. And most of these people, like I said before, they're not good men. They're not good at being men. Just because I tell guys to set boundaries around how they're going to date a woman or how they're going to manage a relationship. Let's use one of those as an example. So women often post salacious, provocative photographs on social media with men that they're in a committed relationship. There should be no place in a relationship for the man or the woman, if they value each other and that commitment that they've made, for her to be posting provocative pictures online, marketing herself to other men. There just should be no place for that. So I tell men that are in my coaching program that work with me, you've got to set that as a boundary. And you can typically do that best when she comes to you and asks you for your commitment. It says, like, who are we? Where do we stand? Where is this going? And it's very simple. You just tell her, look, I really like you, but I just can't take a woman seriously that's going to be posting regular photographs of herself in provocative, salacious ways on the internet to other people, right? Like, you're talking to me about becoming my wife. I'm not going to have my future wife doing things like that.
Perhaps she's not marketing herself to men. Perhaps she's not.
That's exactly what she's doing, because all of the correspondence that she gets comes from men.
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here, where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.